Hey guys, happy Free Comic Book Day, first Saturday in May, 2024 edition. Um, as usual here at Jacob Comics, I got what I was looking for in my Free Comic Book Day bag, and I hope all you guys were able to travel out to your closest stores, or maybe the online store that you tender will send you some Free Comic Book Day books. Either way, I hope you guys get all the Free Comic Book Day books that you're looking for this year. Um, as usual, if you guys do like this kind of content, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps the YouTube algorithm spread me out so more people find my Fun Times channel about comic books here. Let's go ahead and, it's not the loud, mysterious black bag, the Free Comic Book Day bag. Always fun to get. And this time this year, so we don't have any footage of Free Comic Book Day itself. We're gonna treat this more like a regular episode of New Comic Book Day here on Jacob's Comics. Which, if you guys haven't watched those, basically I've read the books already. I put them in order of least favorite to favorite. So starting here with my least favorite, I got 8 books this year for Free Comic Book Day and read them all. We've got Tons of Strange. Now, the first story in this one is a very silly Star Wars parody. It was okay, you know what I'm saying? It got a couple chuckles out of me, not gonna lie. The second one was an anime Shonen Jump style with a lead character who you wouldn't expect. So there's a little bit of comedy in and of that. And it was all right. I'm not gonna, it was okay. The third story in here is a Frankenstein prequel, in black and white for a upcoming Frankenstein comic book that's coming out. And yeah, I had a bunch of fun with Tons of Strange, even though it ended up in my number 8 spot. It still was worth the read and the chuckles. So in my 7th slot here we have Hellboy, and this is a mystery. It's actually got a backup story as well, but the first story is a Hellboy story, and the backup is Stranger Things. First up with the Hellboy story, it's a mystery about a 22-year-old girl that died, and sort of is once they find her remains, she's looks like an 80-year-old lady. So this mystery kind of develops, and we've got Hellboy as our main protagonist, kind of a cop sleuth. He's trying to figure this out, and obviously, I do have notes over here. So, and obviously, with that, there's demons that are definitely to blame. And in the backup story about Stranger Things, I honestly didn't watch that, guys. I'm really sorry. So I'm not too sure what was going on with it. It was entertaining enough. Some sort of ghosts or something. It's cool. I don't know. I don't have too much to say about it, just because there was a bunch of characters that they sort of acted like you already knew, and I definitely didn't. So Star Wars number 1 in my number 6 slot. Now the first story, it's got super awesome art, really awesome. It's got 2 stories in here. The first one is a Luke Skywalker story, seemingly kind of what's to come in the main Star Wars title that's running. And the backup story was sort of a lead into the Darth Vader issue 46. And so there was some fun stuff going on there. I really did like the art in this. I was actually like, man, they got some good artists on Star Wars. Yeah, there's just some classic characters. If you guys like your classic characters, that's kind of what's going on with that one. Now in my number, and I haven't ranked that high just because the art was phenomenal. Even though I'm not the most big Star Wars guy. Now this story. This comes in my number 5 spot, Marvel Voices, and this one's interesting. Just it's a little rough read because there's so many different stories in here. So we have 5 different stories going on. The first one is a very well drawn Spider-Man India story that's a bit silly though. And the second one is just a two-page Spider-Gwen story. And then we go right into a third story, which is a character I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry, and I think that's a three-page story. Her name's Peach, and both of the Spider Gwen story and the Peach story, and this next story, the fourth story, which is about a 2 or 3 page Gambit story, are all to be continued in upcoming Voices projects. So, kind of a teaser for what's coming out this year. They're all different. One's like the X-Men, one's the Pride one, I believe, and the other one was a Wakanda Forever. So, previews for those. And then the fifth one, I'm honestly not sure what the fifth story exactly, like who it was about. Though I could tell that it was a lead-in for Wakanda Forever. We had some Wakanda characters, but it didn't seem to focus on anyone particularly, and there was no Black Panther, and it wasn't like a Shuri specific story or this character or that character. It was just, just a couple pages, maybe like the bad guy of this upcoming story, seemingly. And so that's that. In my number 4 spot, number 4, right? Oh no, number 5. My number 5 spot. Maybe I got my numbers off, but I'm going backwards. I'm sorry. So in my number 5 spot, I've got Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, and I just had this here because it was super cute and fun. Like, it's a green colored one, so it's all ages, fun times for the kids. It's 2 stories. The first story is a fun all ages story about Nubs and Court, who are pictured here on the front cover. And Nubs is super cute. He's like a Jedi munchkin guy. He's actually really cute. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, dude, this guy's cute. I like him. Such a great character design. And so and it was drawn really well. And so in the second one, we have a backup story, Plants and Zombies. And it's all kind of around this character named Zomboss. So this Zomboss character, I guess he's like the bad guy, maybe, I think, of the game. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you know, in the comments. But yeah, some Zomboss, and they were all like 2 to 3 page stories, a bunch of them, maybe like 5 different Zomboss stories, and they were all really cute and just kind of reminded me of reading like old serialized comic panels as a child that were all put together in a book, just silly stuff, nothing really leading to anything, no overall story plot or anything like that, just fun. And so in my number 4 spot, I've got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Free Comic Book Day 2024. It's got 2 stories in this one. The first story is introducing this character named Nightwatcher, who, we never get to see his face, but he seems like he's a Ninja Turtle, like judging by the hands. He's only got the 3 fingers, and the shape of his helmet like would suggest that it is a turtle character. We don't know if it's one that we know. I think it's a new character, so this might be his first appearance. Another reason I put this one so high. The art in this one's super cool. The second story in this is just a fun, lighthearted cartoon style story that is the main, really what made this land in the number 4 spot. Is just took me back to watching the cartoon. It was a story that leads nowhere and doesn't need to, and just has fun with the characters, and Splinter's there cracking on young Ninja Turtles, and I couldn't not love it. And so in the number 3 spot, we have Inner John Universe. And to be very fair, I haven't been keeping up with what's been going on in Inner John Universe. So I think there might be reveals in this that I just wasn't completely aware of. However, I'm pretty sure that at the end of this, a new character, or not new, but hasn't shown up in this new Robert Kirkham universe yet, character kind of shows up. Fan favorite. I think everybody's really going to be stoked that that character has now arrived. And yeah, I mean, the art in this one is super good. Let me just check my notes, see if I have anything else. Yeah, fun splashy art, nostalgic to the cartoon. Someone big, a popular character shows up at the end. So that's kind of what's going on in there from my layman's perspective. Not kind of not fully connected into that storyline. So in my number two spot, number one and number two are kind of like basically just because I understand more of what's going on, I think, and the art in both of these is really, really good. And I think, these are both actually DC and Marvel's like main heavy hitter free comic book day this year that they're really trying to put out there, and so the artwork is definitely on point. So number two spot, I have Absolute Power, and basically the whole story, because the back half of it is just all advertisements, so it's like it was had two stories in it, right? But the second half is just all ads, cool pictures, but you mainly get about a half a comic book worth of story here. And in that story, Failsafe, and which I was like, that's kind of what really had me hooked in, was like, wait a minute, they're really taking this Failsafe arc seriously by Zdarsky. I'm loving it. Like, let's see Failsafe do something crazy here. And it seemingly is like, maybe that's what's going on. Failsafe and Amanda Waller are hatching an evil plan to remove superheroes' freedoms and powers and control the world. And so that's all kind of in here. I don't feel like it's spoilers or anything, because this is stuff that they want, these companies want to get out here. It's sort of their marketing for their next big storyline that's coming. And I was like, dang. You're pulling Failsafe into this storyline. You might pull me in with it, because I like that character. And so here we have Blood Hunt in our number one spot. Free comic book day of this year. It was just really good, So the first issue, Spidey, or there's two stories in this one also. In the first one, we have Spidey, Daredevil, Fantastic Four, and others kind of preview this Blood Hunt event, or you get 2 or 3 pages of each of those characters, and something happens at the end that they're like, oh no, this event's coming, basically. And that's cool and well enough. That would definitely not have landed on the number one spot. It was actually the backup story in here that landed it at number one for me. Maybe I'm a big X-Men stan, I don't know, but I was super pumped about the way that the writing was and stuff in it, and just it gave me like high hopes for at least some of these X titles that are launching soon, of this new, after what is their branding even? They're calling it I forget. At the after Krakoa era. And so within this, we have Jubilee leads an intro to all of the new normal, or the new ongoing X titles. And just something about the way that it was written, maybe the nostalgia in me, Jubilee being the leading character for the story. But I gotta admit, I wanted to read more. There wasn't enough, I got to the end of it and I was like, oh man, I wish this was a whole book. Actually pumped, and Uncanny X-Men looks like it's going to be pretty good, actually, because I believe this was a preview for Uncanny X-Men specifically. And so that's what I have today for Free Comic Book Day this year, guys. As always, if you guys had fun with this show, hit all the buttons, do all the things. As usual, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.